Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of our second series on Murphy's Notes. Before we begin, I'll take a moment to appreciate those who responded to our poll from last week. The poll reveals that the top rated episode from season 1 was episode 9, Speak to Alice and Speak Now. We also had episode 8, The 30-Hour Day, episode 4, Becoming, Falling in Love with the Journey, and episode 5, Before You Die, Leave. You might want to review those episodes, so go check them out if you haven't already. Today's episode will be centered on feedback. Last week we talked about the place of mentorship and guidance, shared my personal experience of standing on shoulders, and emphasized that standing on shoulders can save you valuable time, accelerate your growth, and help you avoid costly mistakes on your journey. Beyond mentorship and guidance, another thing that can fuel your journey is feedback. When people patronize your product or service, it's important to seek feedback. It helps you gauge your progress and know whether to make adjustments. But there's a heads up right there. You must be ready to keep going even without external feedback. If you depend solely on it, you may be disappointed. Some people will never tell you, but you'll be surprised to know how many people secretly love what you do, even though they don't say it. Many times I've posted new episodes and gotten comments and feedback from people who I would never have guessed are listening to me. And I'm like, you've been underground all this while? But I've learned to keep on keeping on even when the feedback I expect doesn't come. So, what can keep you going even without feedback? One key thing that can keep you going is your end game. From the get-go, I stated what the definition of success was for me. If you listen to the very first episode of this podcast, I stated two things. I said that I'm recording these notes first for myself to document my thoughts and life lessons. And then I'm sharing it with you because I want you to also be a beneficiary. And then you share with friends too. So let me tell you what I do. Every time I post a new episode, I go to each of the platforms and listen to it like I'm sitting in the audience. Now, I'm putting myself in the shoes of my listeners. What this implies is that I always have at least one listener for every episode, even if it's just me. The lesson from here is that when you define success from the beginning, it can help you know when you are on track, even if you never get external feedback. Now, if you are on the other side of the divide, the ones who secretly watch without saying a word, I'll tell you today that you can never tell how far your feedback will go. And I'm talking about constructive feedback. There have been days when I recorded and uploaded a new episode, and in my head I'm like, I just said gibberish. I hope someone can resonate with today's message. Then I just see a comment, Murphy, I enjoyed this episode, or inspiring, or thank you for this. And I'm like, okay, I didn't waste my time. Now don't get it twisted. I'm not asking you to make comments just for the sake of commenting. I'm saying that if you ever feel like you got value from someone's product or service, do well to tell them, and tell them openly where possible. It serves two purposes: helps them know that they are on track, and helps them know where to possibly make adjustments. Open reviews also help other people know that there's value in that product or service and possibly patronize it. Since I realized this, I've become more intentional about leaving comments or reviews when I patronize people or I consume content I consider valuable. There's a business lesson here, and this is it. If you ever get a value from a product, especially if it is from someone you consider a friend, it really helps when you give them constructive feedback and refer their product or service to other people. Because if you can derive value from it, it's a good chance that others will. I've always known that reviews are important, but this journey has reinforced that knowledge. If you feel indifferent, that's fine. If you feel you didn't get real value, you can tell them privately, this is what I like about your product, and this is what I don't. Perhaps you can consider making this or that adjustment. But by all means, if you get premium value, tell them and tell them openly. Drop a 5-star review on their page, leave positive comments, and share with others. Not just for the sake of friendship, but also because if someone shares something of value with you, you owe it to humanity to pay it forward. So in a nutshell, here are the key takeaways from today's notes. 1. Feedback and reviews are really important in business. They can serve as fuel for your journey and help you know how to adjust your sales. 2. By all means, seek out feedback, but don't depend solely on it or you'll be disappointed. You must identify a driving force that can fuel you when the feedback is absent. 3. If you are on the other side of the divide, and I'm talking about those who patronize a product or service, do well to leave constructive reviews and feedback. You never know how far that single word can go. And if you get value, share with others too. You owe it to your friend and you owe it to humanity. Side note, a few people have told me that they do not know how to leave comments on Spotify, so I'll just tell you how. On the page where you are listening to this, you just need to scroll down a bit and you'll see the comment section. I'll be glad to know if you truly got the gist from today's notes. Do well to leave us a 5-star review if you are getting value so far. Do well to leave comments. Do well to share with friends. And please hit the subscribe button so you get notified when a new episode drops. Until I come your way again, keep being amazing. My name is Murphy Nambi Chuba.